Hello and welcome everyone to another episode. So in this topic we are going to overview a very important sector is that paper writing technique. Look guys, there are two different phenomena. One is the thing that you know the concept, and second is the thing that how well you can jot down the concept on the paper. Okay, because at the end of the day what you are going to do, you are going to give an exam. What do you mean by exam? That is then offline exam. Means what? Whatever the concept, whatever the question is asked to you, you need to jot down jot down your answer, jot down your output on the paper itself. What is right? On the paper itself. Paper is very important in India, as you know. Okay, unless and until you are unable able to jot down your answer on the paper, your marks will not increase. Are you understanding? Okay, how much your concept you know in depth or in whichever manner, you the moment when you are unable to jot it down on the paper, the examination will give you a fair amount of result. Okay, are you understanding? So paper writing is a skill. So we are going to discuss some very basic paper writing techniques. If you follow them, it will help you to enhance your score. Okay, so the very first technique is that understanding the demand of the question. Understanding understanding the demand of question. Are you following it? Hmm? What do you mean by understanding the demand of the question? Means what is the question demanding? Okay, what is the demand of the question? If you're unable to answer that question, okay, how the examiner will give you marks? For example, the very best example I will give. For example, here is a shopkeeper. Okay, you go to a shopkeeper and here is you. Okay, you ask the shopkeeper to give you, say, a dairy milk chocolate. Okay, dairy milk chocolate dairy milk chocolate. Okay, which is of, say, 100 rupees, right? Okay, the cost of that chocolate is, say, 100 rupees. So if the shopkeeper, this is your question to the shopkeeper. Okay, this is your question, this is your demand, right? This is your demand this is your demand towards the shopkeeper. So if the shopkeeper gives you 5 rupees chocolate, okay, 5 rupees dairy milk, will you accept that chocolate? Absolutely not. Okay, similarly, in the if this is the customer, if this is the examiner, understand, if this is the role of examiner is asking you some question, say, for 5 marks, right? So if you are not understanding the demand of that question and giving him the answer of, say, 2 marks, okay, will he accept that answer? No. Are you understanding it? So understanding the demand of the question. What is the question demanding? Is it asking for diagrams? Is it asking for a brief answer? Is it asking for short answer? You just need to understand that. Okay. If you are mugging up 100%, the 100%, you will face the difficulties. Okay. Mugging up is not a bad idea, but you should mug up at to just a certain amount. Okay, getting it? So what is the first technique? Understand the demand of the question. What is the question demanding from you? Okay, the question needs to extract something out of you, right? So understanding the demand of the question is very important thing. Okay, so the next tip, or the next skill you need to develop is that diagrams. This is very important in case of science diagrams, or you can say diagrams and flowcharts. See guys, this diagram technique is very useful in concepts of science, physics, biology, okay, chemistry. And this concept of flowchart, it is very much necessary in SST subjects. Okay, social science, history, geography, okay, economics, very important. I'll give you the brief introduction to both of these technique. Okay, so guys, as I told you, for example, if you are reading a newspaper or a magazine, right? If you are reading a newspaper, what is the first thing that your eye catches? That is nothing but a photo, right? The photo. If even if you are reading a magazine, what you try to see first? Photo. Will you read the things written beneath it, the whole page written in very small font? No, you never read it. Okay, so I have complaints from many students that this is, sir, I have wrote the answer to 2 to 3 pages, right? I have wrote the answer to 2 to 3 pages, then too I am not getting marks. Now you will not get marks because the examiner is not and are interested to read whatever you have written to 2 to 3 pages. He has lot of work. Okay, he has target to complete. You need to check some certain amount of paper in a day. Are you following it? So if you are writing a brief answer to 5 pages, 4 pages, okay, without having any sort of diagram, you will not get marks. Understand this. So drawing a diagram, okay, drawing a diagram, relatable diagram towards the answer, towards the answer is very very important. Even if you write even if you write even very small amount, not an issue. What you need to do, just draw the diagram and describe that diagram. Your answer is finished there itself. Are you following it? You have to draw a diagram and you have to just describe that diagram. This is very important in case of physics and biology. Okay, you can use this technique in case of physics and biology. It's very important. Okay, you have to practice the diagrams for each and every concept. Okay, whatever laws or laws, projects, whatever that is available in your in your textbook, you need to go through it. Okay, and you have to develop the diagram. You have to practice the diagram. Okay, now the thing comes that how to draw this diagram. If you take scale and pencil, guys, this is very primitive technique. Scale, pencil, eraser. You are mature right now, so don't use scale and pencil. You have to practice the diagrams in such a way that you should draw the diagram in one stroke itself. So always use black gel pen. Always use black gel pen for drawing the diagram. So while drawing the diagram, you should draw in one stroke. Okay, but because there is the margin of error while drawing with a black gel pen is very less. Okay, absolutely not. So don't use pen, pencil, eraser. It will consume a lot of time. So if you practice properly before going to exam, the diagrams, you can draw one stroke diagram with a black gel pen. It gives a very good representation. Okay, getting it. So physics, chemistry and biology, you can cover it with this. Next technique is known as flow chart. Very very important. If you develop this technique, guys, it's it will save a lot of efforts. Okay, what do you mean by flow chart? See guys, there are questions in SST, chronological order. You need to write the answer in brief. There are long answer, short answer. Okay, so what guys try to do, they try to mug up the answer. Okay, they try to mug up the answer because they have no other option, right? So in SST, the very best technique that students use is mugging up. Okay, so I would suggest that you don't mug up the whole subject. Okay, mugging up means what? You are just stressing your brain, you're stressing your mind. Flow chart means what? You need to make a flow chart of the events. Okay, you make the flow chart of the event. Okay, you need to make the flow chart like this. This is the event, this is the event. You need to make the flow chart of the event. Okay, and draw a flow chart of the event in one page, and on the another page just explain this flow chart itself. Your answer is done. How much? Even if the answer is for 5 marks, 4 marks, 8 marks, you can use this technique. Okay, so you have to develop the habit of drawing this flow chart. Okay, draw this flow chart. Okay, draw this flowcharts of event, flowcharts of programs, flowcharts of whatever the event which have been occurred. Okay, try to draw this try to draw this flowchart and explain this flowchart itself. Okay, means what? One page will be your flowchart and another 2 or 3 pages might be your explanation related to the flowchart. Okay, so this is a very very important, very very easy technique to follow in case of SST. The third is what? The third tip, you can say that point wise answering. You should always write point wise. You should always elaborate your answer point wise. Okay, no need to follow paragraph technique. Understand, no need to follow this paragraph technique. Okay, this paragraph technique is only used in case of essays and letter writing. Okay, yeah, apart from the English subject, don't never follow this technique. Don't write in paragraph, always write point wise. Okay, are you following it? So the next very important and very controversial is known as handwriting. Okay, handwriting. So see guys, the students whose handwriting is very bad, not an issue. So you are in 10th standard right now, 10th or 12th standard. The board exam, you are facing the board exam. Okay, so understand, if your age is say 16 or 18. Okay, if your age is what, 16 to 18. So this is not 16 to 18. So this is not the age to upgrade the skill. Handwriting is a skill. Okay, Handwriting is a skill. It comes through practice. Okay. See guys, if your handwriting is worst, or you can say bad or poor, whatever, till the age of 16 or 18, will it upgrade? Yes, it will upgrade, but I don't think you will take that much of effort. Okay. So don't work on your handwriting right now. This is not the time to work on your handwriting. Okay. So then the doubt arises, what to do if your handwriting is very worse, means like medical shopkeeper or a doctor. If your handwriting is like doctor's handwriting, okay, or pretty much worse, I'll give you a very simple technique that it will make the examiner readable. If the examiner is unable to read what you have wrote, then obviously he will cut your marks. Okay, so there is a very simple technique to make your handwriting readable, at least readable. Okay, what you have to do, just see the margin. So if this is the margin of your answer sheet, right, what you need to do, write anyhow, but you have to stick to this line itself. Okay, write anyhow. For example, if I'm writing this physics like this, so see, I am writing this physics sticking to this line. Okay, write anyhow, write like slanting inwards, slanting outwards, or straight, whatever. Okay, just maintain one discipline, that you are, make sure that you are writing sticking to this line. If this is the technique known as, if you write anyhow sticking to this line, this makes your handwriting just readable, not authentic. Okay, not authentic, not aesthetic. This makes your handwriting just readable. Means what, the examiner can at least read, can at least understand what you have wrote. Are you following it? Okay, so this is a very you can say best technique to just make your handwriting readable. Okay, I am not giving any tip to upgrade your handwriting, just I am giving you the tip to just make your handwriting readable. Okay, so this is, so what is the technique, that if this is the line of if this is the margin, these are the lines of on your answer sheet, you need to write in such a way that your handwriting just sticking to this line. Okay, if you are unable, if you go away from this line, then it makes very worse condition, it will look ugly and it will be not readable. Okay, are you following it? So just stick to this line and write any however you want. Okay. So another thing is, guys, whatever, the first paper, whenever the first paper arrives, there is lot of commotion, there is lot of emotional turmoil going through the student's mind. He is very nervous, the heartbeats are very high. So it can happen that the students become blank. Okay, they are prepared so much that at the time of writing the paper, they become blank. It happens. Okay, especially during mathematics paper it happens, or especially during the first paper that you are giving, it happens, the student turns blank. So at that time, what to do? Okay, see guys, you have paper pattern. Okay. So the board officials will set the paper according to this paper pattern. Means how this subject, this sector is having so much and so marks. Okay, getting it? So you study this paper pattern. What will happen if you are studying this paper pattern? For example, in mathematics, for example, if you are very much confident of coordinate geometry, if you are very much confident of coordinate geometry, right? Or in physics, you are very much very much confident about optics. Okay, getting it? So each and every subject, there are strong points. You have some strong points in mathematics. What is your weak point? Trigonometry is a weak point. Okay, in physics, what is your weak point? Say light or electricity is your weak point. So each and every student has his or her weak points and strong points. So recognize their strong and weak points. Okay, for example, coordinate geometry, it's I know it's very simple. So if you have studied in such a way that any kind of sum, or any kind of sum, if it will come in examination related to coordinate geometry, if you are able to solve it, start with coordinate geometry. Okay, there is not a compulsion that you have to start with question number 1 itself. Okay, if question number 1, if you don't get question number 1, if you feel question number 1 I have solved is wrong, okay, then the whole confidence will be down, and it will reflect it in your paper. Are you following it? So start from that question, from where you are very much confident. For example, coordinate geometry question is question number 5. Start with question number 5 directly, not an issue. Okay, just make sure that you write the correct question number. Are you following it? So this is another thing that another thing that you should follow. Okay, and the last and the best I can say that don't don't read the whole question paper. Don't read the whole question paper. Are you following it? If you try to read the whole question paper, see guys, question paper has almost 20 to 25 questions, right? Okay, so what students try to do, they try to tick the question. Yeah, question number 1 I know, question number 3 I know. Okay, but if you turn the question paper, you will find that so out of 25 you know only 8 to 10 questions. Are you following it? So that again bogs down your confidence. Okay, so don't read the whole question paper. Start from that question, that from where you are confident. Okay, are you following it? So don't read the whole. Don't waste your time in reading the question paper. That will bog down your confidence. And another thing is that, for example, today you have given science paper. Okay, science question paper. So there is a question paper. So a day after tomorrow you have mathematics. Okay, for example, the science paper was very tough. Okay, or you may say was a bit fair. Okay, so when you return home, when you return home, you have to tear that question paper. Okay, you have to keep it aside. Okay, what students try to do, they come home, they try to recognize their marks, how much marks they are getting. Say out of 80, if they are securing say 30. Okay, from according to their evaluation, so their confidence again bogs down and they will not prepare for the other subject. Are you following it? So once you submit the paper, nothing is in your control. Okay, so forget that, tear off the question paper and try to prepare for other subject. Are you following it? So these were some kind of tips from my side. There you can get many more. Okay, so don't try to discuss about the paper with your elder brothers or neighbors. Okay, because we live in India and everyone will give you opinions. Okay, so try to avoid that. Stay healthy. Don't eat junk food. Okay, and all the best for your examination. Okay, if you have any doubt, comment in the comment box. Have a nice day.